Hello there, Ticket Subs fans. It's a second review. We filmed it the same day. This is awesome. We just both saw the film Soul. This film is directed by Pete Docter. It is brought to us by Pixar. And I am just if it came out theaters normally, we'd be reviewing this in the Kia Soul and be the best pun in existence. But hey, works just as awesomely. So Soul, Alex, what were your initial thoughts on Soul?
Soul, man, we got a Pixar movie in 2020, so that's a feat in itself. This is not a wide release. Obviously, it went straight to Disney Plus, which I'm sure a lot of people like me got had to pay the whatever it is, $6.99 for the month. But hey, that's a lot cheaper than a movie ticket right now. And I really, I mean, we'll get into it when we do our top 10 review for 2020, but this one's definitely going to be up toward the top for me. Spoiler alert, because it was everything you wanted from a Pixar movie and more. Heartfelt. The story was super unique, like always. The animation is crazy. Like you could just never believe how good it is. And even with it not being on a big screen, it's just on your TV. Luckily I'm blessed enough to have surround sound, so it kind of felt a little bit real, and you can turn your phone off and everything like that. But it definitely had me locked in the entire time, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and hey, no better film to have that surround sound. Just such an awesome soundtrack.
Yes.
Joe is just such an awesome character, played excellently by Jamie Foxx. I love the intro with like the class playing that was such a fun way to start the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely this. I mean, I'm definitely like this. Like I really bummed this didn't get up. Like this absolutely should have been like. I think this would have been one of those like Pixar, like not like I love the Pixar franchise movies, but there's your Inside Outs, there's your Ups, and then there's also like you're Finding Nemo and Toy Story before they became franchises that like just there's a special Pixar feeling. And I feel like this would have absolutely just nailed that. And I would like the amazing animation, like this on an IMAX screen would look like real life, honestly. Like those New York scenes.
I remember seeing his sweater early on when he was teaching, and I was like looking at it when he was playing like the piano in his opening class, and I was like, that's a real sweater. It's just there. Like there's phrase on it and all this stuff, and it like always blows your mind. And I think it absolutely would have been crazy on a full big screen. And you don't kind of get the Pixar, like, you get the short beforehand. It's kind of the whole experience. And I was almost disappointed that they didn't include that this time around. I thought it would have started with that to kind of make it feel a little bit more like a theater experience. But yeah, I definitely agree. There's Pixar movies and then there's Pixar movies, and I think this one definitely falls into that latter category. Super top echelon. I thought we were talking earlier before we watched it, and we were kind of worried that it was going to be a little bit too much like Inside Out, kind of like the insides of people and all this kind of stuff. But it is totally different, like not even like remotely close, which I thought was incredible that they could kind of pull that off. And yeah, just like you said, Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey, so many great actors. Rachel House as Terry was awesome. I loved her, and maybe that's just because I'm a sucker for her. And
hey, Hunt for the Wilder People. You just
I just watched Hunt for the Wilder People, so I'm in love with her acting right now. Just super funny, super heartfelt. The whole story was like very interesting and like unique, and it definitely took you like on a ride that you wouldn't have imagined yourself. So yeah, ultimately really loved it, and that's as much as I'll say for the spoiler-free part.
Yeah, so well said about Rachel House as Terry. Such a fun character, and I loved when Terry went to the real world and was like,
becoming part of
I just kept thinking of Pennywise from the It movie, how that would. And I was like, this is more frightening than it should be. So kind of, I know you mentioned our spoiler-free thoughts. So Alex, spoiler, what is your overall favorite scene or scenes from the movie?
Oh man, favorite scene. I think, there's so many good ones. I thought I thought it was super unique when I really like the being in the zone. You know, you don't have to die to be like in that realm that they're in. You know, if you're, you know, playing the instrument very really well, or you know, you're meditating, or twirling the signs like the one guy. And then to your point, you mentioned that there was going to be like the greatest sports joke in the entire year, if not longer than that, where it's a Knicks guy going up and he's in the zone, he's about to dunk it. She's like, "Oh, I like messing with this team all the time," and like pushes him out of the zone and he misses it.
That team cannot catch a break.
I thought it was just, yeah, that was probably my favorite part. Just that the whole idea of like how you can interact with it. How about you?
Yeah, that was such a cool, and I mean, Graham Norton was such a great choice to play the kind of the like explainer of that situation, and I love just twirling the sign, so much fun, and yeah, so that was definitely one of my favorites for sure. I love that scene where Joe's at the piano and I forget what I gotta. It's a scene where he's like looking at all, like he's just like remembering all like the little moments of his life. I forgot the exact context, but like, you know, like eating the pie or just like kind of little things, or you know,
Yeah, when they're walking through his memories.
Yeah, that was really powerful and just kind of like hits you on the X's.
So, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean it, but I mean, this movie is like super depressing in some aspect where you're like, wow, like this guy's kind of the worst, you know, like what really hit me was when he was they were in the barber shop, and I think what's her name, 22 is the soul, and she's in his body, and you know, she's asking about like what the barber does and what he used to do, and he walks out and goes, "Hey, like, you know, thanks for coming by, like it was cool seeing your story, hearing your story, whatever." And he's like, "Well, yeah, you know, you never asked before." And I was like, oh man, right in the gut, like all this guy cares about is like himself and music and stuff. I don't know, it's, yeah. How did you feel about, you know, and you know, we can jump around here I guess, but the ending where he does finally realize like he gets a second shot and he's going to go and just kind of be the good guy? Like, did you think that resolved itself well enough for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was conflicted a little bit just because, like, not that I wanted it to go this way necessarily, but they teased the great beyond so much. You kept expecting, like, there's going to be some kind of, like, not necessarily payoff, but, like, some kind of conclusion, or, like, you see what that is at least. But, I mean, they did, like, I saw a comment on Reddit, like, about how, I got to stop going on the discussion boards about these movies. They just always, but hey, this one's a positive one. Like how they, like you would have expected like him to do that, but this kind of, instead they subverted it's a little bit of subversion of expectations, which is, I think, as could be said, like, you don't, I think a lot of people would have, like, that would have been the easy way to go. They kind of, but I don't know, I'm glad he gets a second chance.
Yeah, that's true. And I did kind of feel like, you know, it didn't have, you know, a lot of those like classic, like you see where this is kind of going type of thing. Like I was pretty like, you know, on the edge of my seat ish, for a non-action movie the whole time, and pretty invested in it, just because they didn't really take some of those like classic twists and turns and stuff. But yeah, I mean, this was just so funny, like the all of everything. Like there's just so many like little jokes here and there, and it was just such a, I mean, Pixar does it again. They built this whole awesome world. And I actually really liked it better than Inside Out, which is, I don't know if that's like crazy to say, but I thought it was a more compelling story at least. And you know, the acting was just so good, and it was funny. It was like genuinely funny in a lot of parts.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, Terry being the best one. I did have one weird thought, and I don't know where this fits, but I wanted to get it out there. And absolutely. I hadn't looked anything up, so this is probably like already explained on Reddit or something. So I'm probably like last to it. But the way that you know, Terry and Jerry's like the good world, Terry's like the great beyond world, right? Is that what the characters' names are? It was really interesting how those were animated, like being the 2D animations. And I thought that it was so like reminiscent of like how kids draw, and I thought that was kind of cool because they were probably saying like, oh, like, you know, kids aren't just drawing bad 2D drawings of people and stuff, like they're remembering being there, so they're drawing that. So I thought that was, I don't know, maybe, you know, that was probably the motivation there, but I
Oh,
thought
that's
that was
blowing my mind.
pretty cool.
I don't know if I missed that in the movie or didn't think about it. That's like, boom.
Yeah, because you know, like they're all 2D figures and they look like kids drawings ish, you know.
Yeah, that's gotta be it.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know, I
so
thought that was
cool.
subtly deep, so that was neat.
Yeah, that is
And
so neat.
I'm sure that's all over Reddit already, but
I didn't pick up
fun.
that. I didn't see that. No, you're blowing my mind with that.
But yeah, no, I thought the animation was awesome. Like even like not 3D stuff, you know, Pixar's really great at the realistic 3D stuff. Like the two, like they were 2D animations and they were in some like kind of, you know, 2D worlds at some point. Everything was perfect, so unique. You know, her flipping through like the files and stuff like that. It was just like it was just so satisfying to watch all of
That's a
that.
good word for it. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I think this was an awesome movie, and definitely a treat at the end of 2020, a year of, you know, lots of less movie releases. We got a real diamond in the rough for sure.
Yeah, such a heartwarming film, and yeah, it just hits you right in the heart. It hits you in the laughs, like you said, lots of genuinely funny moments. And yeah, I just really want to add really quick. I was on edge of like the edge of the seat thing too. I was like so not stressed out, but I was like I just wanted to get to a show. Like I felt so bad because this was his moment, but like also that was part of the lesson too, I guess. But I don't know. It was just a lot on the line, a lot.
Huge anxiety.
Yeah.
You know, they definitely played on that very well. Yeah, it was just well done
But
all
then you learn the
across the
anxiety
board.
was almost like because then like he at the end of the show he's like this that wasn't as fulfilling as but so like did it but that kind of go your anxiety kind of is exactly with him as the whole time.
Yep, yep.
Ah,
You are definitely living through that character the entire time, and you've and Pixar's so good about this. You felt all these feelings yourself before, so it's super relatable to be watching it. So yeah, I mean they just knocked it out of the park, man, and well worth my 1 month Disney Plus trial.
hey, you gotta keep it. You gotta watch The Mandalorian and WandaVision. So you gotta extend it.
That's true. They might have got me in the door. So you know, right now a $6 ticket could be significantly more.
Hey, understate it's the principle. Yeah, it's the streaming service principles. I get it.
Yep, absolutely. And
You don't want to get too many of them.
it's the way to that's the next debate. But I'm excited for hopefully A list to be kicked up again and start off 2021 and actually get into theaters. This is something crazy, and we'll talk about it in the other review too. But I haven't seen a single movie in theaters for 2020 this year, so that was wild.
Oh my, but hey, I'm glad at least you got to see Soul as a kind of a last hurrah of the year and such a good movie. So yeah, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Definitely check out Soul on Disney Plus.